I never thought I'd be saying this, but I genuinely think for the blue team, Momo might be as good or better than KISUKE for free-to-play players. That is a wild statement, but the more I was checking out her kit, the more I was reading her weapon stamp and the core stamp, I was like, holy fuck. Momo is good. She's a good support. So we're going to talk about that in this video, and we're going to relate it mainly to Toshiro, talking about Toshiro in a free-to-play setting. Of course, my Toshiro has dupes. Now, weapon stamp A3. Well, why did I get it A3? Well, because now my Toshiro is guaranteed critting. Your Toshiro is not going to be doing that because, well, you don't have A2 with dupes. Toshiro's weapon stamp is so good. Like, you got 40% crit rate here, 45% crit rate here. It's crazy. So Momo for pay to wins is a bit less good, but we're going to talk about her obviously in a free-to-play setting. And it's crazy. It is genuinely crazy. Now, little CTA, in 1 hour from when this video should be coming out, I will actually be doing a playthrough through Trial Tower and Frenzy Feast, and we're tying this into a giveaway. SCA players will have a chance to get a pull code that was actually given to me by the BSR team. So you got one person will be able to get this pull code on SCA servers, and also I will be giving away $20. 2 people will get $10, and you have to be in the stream, participate, and be in the community Discord link down below to enter. So if you want to get this, I could buy you a pack on BSR, give you money through PayPal. So just wanted to kind of say that we're doing it in an hour, and I also will be using Momo there. So mainly in Tower, but feel free to come check me out and see how exactly this is going to look. Now, is Momo outright better than KISUKE in a lot of these situations? Not really, but it's going to depend. I think with time, there are many things that are going to aid more towards Momo than KISUKE for Toshiro. Now, the first aspect that we got to kind of mention before really getting into it is if you go here, Toshiro's event not only gives you Momo, not only gives you the weapon stamp, but also the core stamp. So you're guaranteed to get everything you need. However, bare minimum, you need 1 Momo dupe. You do. You need her A1. Now, that's not bad, to be honest. I was expecting them to need us to get A6. For example, Rukia's A6 is really good. That's not the case for Momo. So you only need this A1, and it's going to give you, this is basically her buff for the team, and they increase the amount of stacks you could get for it. So her A1 is definitely the necessity. But you get the rest. Now, we don't know if Momo is going to go into the standard pull, but for the weapon stamp and for the core stamp, you would want as many dupes as possible in it. The good thing with the core stamp is, well, it's a 4-star. So, getting the shards, getting this stamp isn't going to be too difficult. And, you know, she's going to have long-term value when Aizen comes out, etc. So there is that. Now, what we have to talk about in terms of why I think she's going to have very good value in relation to Toshiro is with Aizen. So I think that when Aizen comes out, you are almost guaranteed going to want to run Momo instead of KISUKE in all scenarios. Now, this part is not something that's confirmed, but if it is the case that does happen, it's going to be very important to keep in mind that Momo will end up better than KISUKE. We currently have Kaname that we need the teammates to be thrust for this battlefield skill to activate. So if Aizen is exactly like that, then you wouldn't want to run KISUKE. You'd want to run a blue unit, which Momo is blue. Now, besides that, the SSR battlefield skills, tactic units, Aizen will be a blue tactic. It gives a mono damage boost, which will help Momo more than it will help KISUKE. That's another thing, more minute, but it's more so Momo would be able to probably enable the actual stacks of battlefield skill more. Now, let's get into why Momo is going to be really good. So essentially, she's very simple. You put down her technique. It's going to put a kind of field, a yellow field down. Then you use your basic attack. You do a special attack. And I think, is it the A1? I think it's the A1 if I'm remembering correctly. No, where is it? Sorry, it's the weapon. So you get 2 stacks of insight on the weapon instead. And essentially, you're going to be able, with the A1, to get 6 max stacks of Insight. So you use the normal attack twice, and then afterwards on the third time, you're going to max out on your Insight stacks. Now, Insight gives 5% attack bonus per stack, up to 30%. Okay? So that's a 30% attack bonus for 30 seconds. Very, very good. So that's the first part of it. Besides that, like, there's not really much to keep in mind. Like, she's got good ult charge rate. Then she's also giving more spirit damage here, okay? So you got another 15.75 up to 18% spirit, maybe even higher spirit damage when you just have more than three or more spirit stacks. So we're already 30% attack, we'll say like 21%, I guess, 20% spirit damage, right? But then if you counter, which this won't always be important, but if you do counter and it's a successful counter, then you're going to give a further spirit damage boost. Now, this won't always be useful. It's only going to be useful if you do this against mini mobs that we're going to die anyway. But if not, I feel like you're just going to use Toshiro for the counter attack. But in some cases, it will be good, right? So if this was all it would be, then KISUKE would be better, right? Now, why is that? Well, KISUKE gives 60%. Attack bonus. Now it says 3 stacks, but with the weapon, it goes up to 6. So that's a 60% attack bonus. Momo gives 30%. Sure, there's the spirit damage, but KISUKE is also giving probably around, I would say, like 50% crit damage, right? I feel like that's about what you could expect, unless you're like fully building crit damage and you get very lucky. I'd like to generalize 50 to 55% crit damage. So that crit damage in most cases is going to make it that KISUKE would be better. However, that's not all Momo does. On her weapon, each stack of Insight gives a further spirit damage boost of 1.5%. Now, this is going to be another 9% spirit damage boost. So right now, we got 9% spirit damage boost alongside another 18. So like if I were to max this out, that would be a 27% spirit damage boost alongside 30% attack. However, it doesn't end there. Remember, you get the weapon and the stamp for free, the core stamp. At dupe 2, you're getting 3.125% crit rate boost per Insight stack. Guys, that's an 18% crit rate boost. At max, if we were to check this at max, which she's a 4-star, I think it is rather fair to at least entertain the idea of you having it maxed. Guys, at max, it's a 30% crit rate boost. If you have her A1, just A1, you just need 1 dupe. You need 1 copy because you get her for free. 30% crit rate boost. And then upwards of an 18% spirit damage boost. Like, it's kind of insane how much she's doing. That's 18% if you max that out, which you probably won't, right? But for me, 9%. So we're getting 27% spirit damage boost, 30% attack, and all you need is that A1. All you need is that A1. And then, of course, the crit rate. So for me, the crit rate is pointless. For me, it's pointless. I've got 20% crit rate there, 45% crit rate there, 40% crit rate here. I'm overcapping on crit rate, so I don't need the crit portion of Momo's kit, and I personally do rather having the crit damage. For me, it is just better. I'm pretty much always guaranteed critting. However, you guys aren't. You guys won't have access to 45% crit rate here. It's going to be 30. You guys won't be getting Toshiro A2. You're losing another 40% there. Momo giving crit rate might actually just be better, right? It might just be, because this way you could actually get close to probably like, I don't know, 90% crit rate if you actually build a crit rate piece on Toshiro, right? Instead of building crit damage, you could build crit rate and get another 30-ish% here. So you'd be at like 20, maybe 45%. And then with the weapon, you'd be at like 75. And Momo would be able to push you closer to 90. And if you get the core stamp with more dupes, you'd be able to go over 100% crit rate without having to dupe Toshiro out. It's ridiculous. I actually think it's really good. Now, there's one thing. Momo will probably be doing less damage than KISUKE. Her ult is pathetic levels of damage, right? So it's like, it just doesn't really matter, if we're being honest. I don't really care about it. Even with the dupes, like, I think she's got some, like, extra damage and shit. It's just not that good. I just, like, her damage isn't too good. KISUKE, for example, his special attack slash is doing almost as much as Momo's ult. So it's like that's how you put it into perspective. But for blue content, obviously for tower, Momo would be better. And then if Aizen requires blue units to activate the battlefield skill, once again, Momo will be better. So it's as simple as that, right? It really is. For me, I don't get much value because I already have maxed out crit rate, but Momo is probably going to end up being used anyway for future content. And it's kind of wild. Like, 30% attack boost, 27% spirit damage boost, 20% crit rate boost about. Like, all these things are really good. And then you could also get a further spirit damage boost here. She's extremely comparable to KISUKE, right? In terms of support, it's extremely comparable. It's just, would you rather crit damage or crit rate? That's the main thing that you have to ask yourself. However, of course, it gets a bit more kind of muddied once you get closer to like A2 and higher, right? Because this way you're going to get your ult quicker, get the crit damage bonus quicker, and then also give more crit damage on A6. But let's be real, who's actually going to be getting them with high dupes, right? At least for right now. So definitely just because of that, and because of the fact the support isn't like greatly increased with the core stamp, right? Sure, we get 60% attack if you have the weapon stamp, but in general, I genuinely think, just looking at it, right, I'll put the comparison on screen from Momo to KISUKE, right? You're going to be getting more for Momo as a free-to-play for Toshiro than you will from KISUKE. For pay-to-wins, it's different, obviously, but you're still not going to be looking down bad if you're using Momo, right? She's very easy to use, doesn't take much time on the field, and gives the support that you would want. She gives everything Toshiro would want. Attack percent, crit, and spirit damage. That's basically as simple as it gets, right? So, yeah, that is essentially Momo. Actually a good unit. And let's just take her for just a field run, right? Let's bring her into Frenzy Feast. We'll do one run and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm in the 3rd difficulty. We're fighting Renji, obviously. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, we go into Momo, and that field is what basically activates the insight stacks. Right now, as you can see, we got 4 insight stacks. So we're almost capped out on our insight stacks, which last 30 seconds. So it's very easy to keep up that cap for a while, which is obviously very good. We're going to go back into Momo, activate the Keto Snare. We use the normal enhanced, and then afterwards... Oh, hello. No, I didn't mean to do that. Let me get it. No, I missed it. We're going to counter, and then we're going to go into Momo. We're going to activate that spirit damage boost, activate further stacks. Then we're going to go into, well, we're going to use the battlefield skill. I guess we had it. Go into Toshiro. We should get our ult very soon, I'd say. Probably after the next enhanced normal. There we go. And since it's 30 seconds, you don't have to go into Momo too much, right? So we're going to use this. Okay, bop, go into the ultimate. There we go. We should freeze soon. Yeah, there we go. We're going to be freezing very soon. Unfortunate on that. So we'll use one. Oh, I'm getting hit a lot. We'll use this, and we'll ult. Let's see how much we do. And obviously guaranteed crit. I could definitely do more with KISUKE. I feel like sometimes I get a bit higher, right? Like maybe closer to... Also, let's see the damage, by the way. Closer to... We could use parry. So we should get a damage boost. But closer to like 2.8 million about. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. The ult actually just does pathetic damage. Like, you just don't care about it. I'm not gonna lie. It just doesn't matter, right? Like, Rukia's doing like way more damage with her ult. It's so funny. Momo's pretty pathetic with it. But if it helps Aizen get his battlefield skill, like I was saying... Bro, damn. Okay, Rukia, go crazy. That definitely, if it helps Aizen, then it's obviously going to be good. So I don't know if we did better. Like, for me, obviously, like I said, KISUKE's probably, KISUKE's probably a bit better. Yeah, Momo genuinely just didn't do much damage. I don't know why her dupes are revolving around damage increase. Like, maybe just let her give damage reduction or something. I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me, because maybe I'm using it wrong. I just don't know. I don't know. So I did a bit worse. 5,500 is what I got instead. With KISUKE, we got closer to 5,700, which makes sense. Like I said, for me, of course, I'd rather crit damage. But that's not the case for you guys. However, it's not really bad anyway. But genuinely, like... I just I guess like I just gotta get these pieces. They're not even like horrible pieces. Like I feel like her damage should be higher than it is, bro. I feel like she's frauding out on me. Like her attack is still pretty good. I feel like I'm getting gaslit by the game for why she's doing no damage. But yeah, she's still very good. The support she's giving, the amount of attack boost, spirit damage boost that she is giving is very good, right? So this might, I'm not sure. Like I should actually like double confirm to see if this is only for Momo. I'm gonna confirm after the video. If you're seeing this video, I definitely confirmed it. But overall, the support she is giving is surprisingly really good. So I think she is a solid option for you guys to run. And actually, yes, it does because insight, as it says here, it acquire a certain number. Yeah, so you also get spirit damage boost. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.